How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just want to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark Elevation from tonight, which is April 12th, 2021. I gotta say it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was 10 versus Zach Clayton. That was a great match, but the ending to it, 10 went over with the full Nelson. Match 2, it was Miro versus Hayden Backlund. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Miro went over with the game over. Match 3, it was Hikaru Shida and Ty Conti versus Layla Gray and Catalina Perez. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Hikaru Shida and Ty Conti went over cause Hikaru Shida pinned Layla Gray with the katana. Match 4, it was the Hybrid 2, which are Angelico and Jack Evans versus Dean Alexander and Carly Bravo. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Hybrid 2 went over because Angelico made Dean Alexander tap out to the Navarro Death Roll. Match 5, it was Orange Cassidy versus John Skyler. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Orange Cassidy went over with the beach break. Match 6, it was Kanuski Takechita versus Danny Limelight. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Kanuski Takechita went over with the wheelbarrow German suplex. Match 7, it was, well, that was a great match, by the way. Match 7, it was FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler versus Metis Black and Jay Lyon. Match 7, it was FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler versus Midas Black and Jay Lyon. That was a great match, but the ending to it, FTR went over because Cash Wheeler pinned Midas Black with the Goodnight Express from Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. Match 8, it was Ray Phoenix and Pac versus Andre Montoya and Vari Morales. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Ray Phoenix and Pac went over because Ray Phoenix pinned Andre Montoya with the frog splash. Match 9, it was Dante Martin versus Baron Black. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Dante Martin went over with the 450 splash. Match 10, it was Britt Baker versus Sky Blue. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Britt Baker went over with the curb stomp. But after the match, Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker, and Tony Schiavone was explaining that what Britt Baker said to him on Dynamite about competing on AEW Dynamite, AEW Dark, and AEW Dark Elevation until she gets her win-loss record rankings up. Well, Britt Baker got on the microphone and was talking about how she was going to compete on Dynamite, was going to compete on Dark, and was going to compete on Elevation, so she can get her rankings up to be the number one contender for the AEW Women's title against Hikaru Shida sometime down the road. Well, Britt Baker left, and so did Rebel, while Tony Schiavone was still in the ring, which that was cool. Match 11, it was QT Marshall and Nick Comoroto versus Cole Carter and Andrew Palace. That was a great match, but the ending to it, QT Marshall and Nick Comoroto went over because QT Marshall pinned Cole Carter with the Diamond Cutter. Match 12, it was Mike Seidel versus Michael Nakazawa. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Mike Seidel went over with a roll-up. match 13, it was Layla Hirsch versus Shanna. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Layla Hirsch went over with the cross arm breaker. Match 14, match 14, it was Pena El Cerro Miedo versus Brandon Cutler. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Pena El Cerro Miedo went over with the Fear Factor. Match 15, it was Thunder Rosa versus Diamante. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Thunder Rosa went over with the Thunder Driver. Match 16, it was Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky versus Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky went over because Ethan Page pinned Sonny Kiss with the Ego's Edge. And match 17, which was the main event, it was the Best Friends, which are Trent and Chuck Taylor versus Ryan Nemeth and Cesar Bononi. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Best Friends went over because Trent pinned Ryan Nemeth with the Strong Zero from Trent and Chuck Taylor. But besides all that, Dasha Gonzalez interviewed Thunder Rosa, and Dasha Gonzalez was talking about how Thunder Rosa had a target on her back and everything, and then Thunder Rosa was going on saying she does have a target on her back, and was also saying about Diamante wanting to challenge her and everything, and Thunder Rosa accepted the challenge and everything, which that was cool. Sean Dean cut a promo about his time in the Navy and how he started in the business of professional wrestling and how he got hired on AEW and everything, which that was cool. Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela cut a promo. Well, Sonny Kiss was preparing for the match between him and Joey Janela versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. And Joey Janela, yes, that was Sonny Kiss, by the way. Well, Joey Janela came along and was asking Sonny Kiss if he was shooting a YouTube video or something, and Sonny Kiss was saying, no, I'm preparing for our tag team match against Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. And Joey Janela thought that him and Sonny Kiss were competing against two Puerto Rican people, but Sonny Kiss said no about that it was Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. And Joey Janela was talking about how he had a bunch of women all over him sucking on his nipples and everything, and talked about how he was going to go back up there with the women, but Sonny Kiss was saying, no, we got a match. And then Sonny Kiss left, and Joey Janela was saying, the women can wait because Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, I'm coming after you all hardcore. Which that was cool. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page cut a promo going on about how they're treated so badly in AEW and how their opponents, Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss, got what they wanted because Joey Janela got to compete against Darby Allin with a shitty win-loss record, and Sonny Kiss got to compete against Cody Rhodes for the AEW TNT champ. Well, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky in their promo were going on about how they're poorly mistreated in AEW and their opponents, Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss, getting what they want because Joey Janela got to compete against Darby Allin for the AEW TNT title with a shitty win-loss record, and Sonny Kiss got to compete against Cody Rhodes for the AEW TNT title with a shitty win-loss record. And they talked about how Ethan Page was talking about how he's undefeated in AEW and has never gotten a shot at a title or anything, and Scorpio Sky was talking about how he had to win a ladder match to get his shot at the AEW TNT title and everything, and they pretty much were talking about, and Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page were pretty much talking about how they were going to demolish Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss and everything, which that was cool. Pac and Ray Phoenix cut a promo about their AEW Tag Team title shot against the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, this Wednesday on AEW Dynamite, and they pretty much talked about how they were going to annihilate the Young Bucks and take away and win the AEW Tag Team titles and everything, which that was cool. And Alex Marvez interviewed Konosuke Takeshita, and Alex Marvez was pretty much trying to ask Koneski. Alex Marvez was attempting to ask Konosuke Takeshita what brings him to AEW. Well, Koneski Takeshita was pretty much trying to talk, but Kenny Omega came along and made Alex Marvez leave, so Alex Marvez left, and Kenny Omega signaled Michael Nakazawa to come along. Well, Michael Nakazawa came along, and Kenny Omega was having Michael Nakazawa translate what he was saying to Koneski Takeshita, and Kenny Omega was talking about how he was a nobody in Japan in the promotion DDT and everything, and was talking about how he's been scouting talent in AEW and how he's became a star in AEW and everything, and Michael Nakazawa was pretty much translating that to Koneski Takeshita, and Kenny Omega was talking about how he helped Koneski Takeshita out and everything, and wanted payback for it. And Koneski Takeshita thought Kenny Omega was talking about. Well, Kenny Omega was saying to Koneski Takeshita about, the Seidel brothers, which are Matt and Mike Seidel, being a thorn in his side, and was wanting to take him out and everything. Well, Koneski Takeshita Koneski Takeshita thought that Kenny Omega was talking about them two teaming up to take out the Seidel brothers, but Kenny Omega was saying, no, you'll be teaming with Michael Nakazawa. Well, Koneski Takeshita wasn't pleased about that, but Michael Nakazawa was excited about it. Well, Kenny Omega announced that it'll be next week on AEW Dark Elevation. It'll be Koneski Takeshita and Michael Nakazawa versus the Seidel brothers. Well, Kenny Omega left, and Michael Nakazawa was all happy, while Koneski Takeshita was upset, wasn't thrilled about it. That was cool. Besides all that, Tony Schiavone and Paul White done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And Excalibur done guest commentary along with Tony Schiavone and Paul White during the match between Koneski Takeshita versus Danny Limelight. Excalibur done great on guest commentary. And the referees for the event were Frank Gastineau, Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Frank Gastineau refereed the match between Ten versus Zach Clayton. Mike Posey refereed the match between Miro versus Hayden Backlund. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Hikaru Shida and Tai Conti versus Layla Gray and Catalina Perez. Frank Gastineau refereed the match between the Hybrid 2 versus Dean Alexander and Carly Bravo. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Orange Cassidy versus John Schuyler. Mike Posey refereed the match between Koneski Takechita versus Danny Limelight. Yeah, that was Mike Posey, by the way. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between FTR versus Midas Black and Jay Lyon. Rick Knox refereed the match between Ray Phoenix and Pac versus Andre Montoya and Vari Morales. Mike Posey, that was Rick Knox, by the way. Mike Posey refereed the match between Dante Martin versus Mike Posey refereed the match between Dante Martin versus Baron Black. Paul Turner refereed the match between Britt Baker versus Sky Blue. Yeah, that was Paul Turner, by the way. Mike Posey refereed the match between QT Marshall and Nick Camarado versus Cole Carter and Andrew Palace. Rick Knox refereed the match between Mike Seidel versus Michael Nakazawa. Paul Turner refereed the match between Layla Hirsch versus Shanna. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Pena El Cerro Miedo versus Brandon Cutler. Paul Turner that was Aubrey Edwards, by the way. Paul Turner refereed the match between Thunder Rosa versus Diamante. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky versus Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. And Bryce Remsburg refereed the match. That was Aubrey Edwards, by the way. And Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between the Best Friends versus Ryan Nemeth and Cesar Bononi. All the referees done awesome as usual. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark Elevation from tonight, which is April 12th, 2021. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road.